Hello, dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Erler. I'm the founder of the Tea Masters blog and the tea-masters.com tea boutique. Today we continue on our course of Baozhong classes. We will do a class about brewing, modern brewing, and I think it's going to be quite interesting. Maybe you already see we are in a Christmas atmosphere, and this is a class that I like to teach for in the Christmas time because it is very easy to explain and to show how it works, this modern brewing. Before we start, let me remind you that again, Christmas is coming soon. So if you want to have some nice tea leaves or teaware under your Christmas tree on the 25th, then it's really time to place your order so that it will arrive just in time at the same time as Santa Claus. Hello, also Terry and Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. I think we are ready to go. As you can see, my chashi is ready, and for this tea class about modern brewing, I would like to for the regular students reintroduce or re-explain a concept that maybe not so many people are familiar outside of this YouTube channel. It is a concept of Chashi Mandala. This concept is the fruit of an evolution. It's not something that was invented on one day. The author of this book, T. Parker, he did not wake up and imagine everything in the year 2007 when it was written. But this is, as I said, um, the end of an evolution that started in the 1980s in Taiwan when tea culture was revived. Taiwan at that time benefited from its ancient ties with Japan that we have studied in this class. We remember that Japan had a large influence on Taiwan tea industry from 1895 until 1945. And of course, Taiwan was also home to lots of Chinese immigrants from Fujian. And these people who knew about tea, they were steeped with tea culture from Chaoshan also, a Chaoshan Kung Fu Cha style that I have demonstrated and explained 2 weeks ago. A very interesting lesson that usually gets lots of views on my channel. And uh, so these two cultures, the Chaoshan Kung Fu Cha and the Japanese culture mixed together became this Cha-I movement in the 1980s, where you started to see people pay more attention to the aesthetics of the tea brewing, uh, influenced in this regard more by the Japanese, but using the Chinese style of brewing. And this was not only used to brew the traditional teas of Chaoshan Gongfu Cha that are the roasted oolongs, but more and more also all kinds of teas that were popular in Taiwan, uh, Dongding oolongs, also roasted, but then also high mountain oolongs, Tieguanin, and pu'er. So this is a method, this modern method is more universal because it does not just apply to one type of tea, roasted oolongs, but can be applied to almost any kind of tea, uh, high mountain oolong, Wenshan Baozhong, pu'er, green tea, red tea, you name it. it's always possible to insert the tea in this matrix of the chashi. Now, in a few words, what is chashi mantoro mandala? It's actually to create a harmonious world where every accessory helps to make a better tea or helps to create a universe, a world that makes sense and that creates um, that is aesthetic pleasing to the to the eye and also pleasing maybe to the brain or to the heart, to the soul. It brings something in addition, and the easiest way to explain what it brings is when you do it with a Christmas theme, because this Christmas theme really shows that it's a universal concept. This is not about making a Chinese. You don't need to know anything about Chinese culture. You can simply apply the um, Christmas culture for the aesthetics. However, what you need is to know the tea culture in order to choose your accessories right and make a tea that will um, come as come out as good as possible because you respect all the rules that started from Louis until now. And since we have studied a lot of these tips and class in my classes, you will be familiar. I'm not going to repeat. So actually, with the chashi, we could repeat everything that we know about tea in order to explain what we want to do. Just this would take us much more too much time. We are simply going to make a good cup of tea with the tea that I've chosen today. And I thought for the occasion, it would be nice to go back to the roots of Wenshan Baozhong, to go full circle. So we know that Wenshan Baozhong started with flower-scented Baozhong. So I decided to use the osmanthus-scented Baozhong that is in the sampler that I created for this class. And if you did not buy the sampler, actually it's 5% off. So even better now for the Christmas season. We preheat first on the outside the teapot, then on the inside. It's slipping a bit normal. Now, we have seen several brewing styles already. The very first brewing style that we practiced was the Gaiwan brewing style. If you remember, we brewed most of our Baozhongs in the beginning with a Gaiwan like this one, made of porcelain, because if you use a Gaiwan, you have a standardized tool that is neutral and that helps you better compare each tea that you are brewing. It does not add or subtract to the tea. It's a very simple but efficient tool and neutral. So that's why all the teas we started by using the Gaiwan tool and the Gaiwan brewing. Then we moved to the Chaozhou Gongfu Cha style using a very small Yixing teapot, if you remember, and crushing the leaves. Here, we're not going to crush them because they are not roasted and the teapot is large enough to fit those. You see here, we can adapt a different water to leaf ratio. Using a Juni Yixing teapot is suitable for this tea because it's clay that is emphasizing the fragrance of the tea, and it will also actually emphasize the aftertaste. So this is a teapot that is used for high quality leaves, and this is the case with this osmanthus scented Baozhong. But we also saw another style I think last week, yes, the bowl brewing style, using simply a bowl without a lid to brew. So Gaiwan, Chaozhou Gongfu Cha, the bowl, and now the modern chashi using an Yixing teapot. It does not always have to be an Yixing teapot to be a chashi. However, in the spirit of the chashi, you are trying to use the best possible accessory vessel to brew your tea. And in this case, I think that this should give us very good results. For a Baozhong, we are also looking for a shape that is rather flat. This fits. And I'm not going to crush them. This will keep the brew very soft and mellow. If you break the leaves, you get a bit more astringency to some for the roasted type of Oolong Baozhong. It can add to the mouthfeel, but here for this tea, we don't need. The water was boiling in my silver teapot, so I'm waiting that it's quiet. And I will not talk when I'm pouring. Voilà. Lid on. I don't want to. At the end, I might add hot water on top, but at this stage, I prefer not to. This one we don't need. We just keep what we need to the brew and what we want for the decoration on the table. Everything is in front of us, easy to access on the side. I don't have to make big movements. I can remain very relaxed and everything is within reach. What I don't need to use very often is placed a bit farther, but what is the most important part of this chashi, the teapot is placed just in front of me, and I've adjusted my seat so that it's very comfortable to use it. Okay, by now should be roughly okay. Let's start. So when you see that it's a bit light in color, because I'm really using few leaves, but it's the evening. I didn't want to make a too strong brew before going to sleep. So if it's very light, you can pour slower, give it some time to extract more flavors from the leaves. And as you are doing this, avoid pouring drops on the chabu, this cloth that is beneath. It has lots of purposes. Its first purpose is to make the chashi more beautiful, give it a theme. Here the theme is Christmas and the evergreen of the pine tree is also reflected in the green on this chashi, and we have pine trees of many different colors in the middle. So it's really a lot of joy watching this piece of cloth on the table. So we don't want to spoil it by pouring water on top of it. But if there are a few drops, it's okay. No big problem. It also helps to keep things quiet. We are very silent. If it were porcelain on porcelain, there would be sounds that are not as nice. But like this, very delicate. All the nice osmanthus flowers. Now is actually the season of osmanthus. I can smell osmanthus actually in front of our house in several public gardens in New Taipei City. So this is a smell that fits the season. It's winter Baozhong, and after 1 year, it had more time to become more mellow, more harmonious in terms of the mix between the scents and the aftertaste. What a delight. And the purpose of creating a tea in such a beautiful atmosphere is to invite your friends, invite your family to share the cup and to share the joy that is brought by this decoration. So this is something that is really a universal theme, and it really shows that that's why T. Parker, when he wrote his book, he did not say, I invented it. He did not put a trademark on it. He said everybody should be able to use it and use it according to everybody's own style, creativity, um, knowledge. The more you know about tea, the more you will find you are able to improve on your chashi, improve the interaction between the teapot and the cups. You will find there are lots of details that we can pay attention to, even also the silver kettle adds purity to the taste. Really lots of things, and the jar also helps to refine the tea before they are uh, brewed. Lots and lots of knowledge goes into this chashi, and therefore the more you have learned about it, the more you will find your chashi meaningful and beautiful. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I'm going to check on your questions. Next week we are going to study Germinal by Zola and the drinks, and then we will start to do one more wrap up and announce what is the next teas that we are going to study together. We have some comments. I love the way you handle your teaware gently and quietly. Yeah, thank you very much, Elizabeth. This is also thanks to Chabu. It makes the handling of the teaware more quiet, and we are also instinctively drawn to be more careful when it is so beautifully set up. The pouring of the water and then the tea into the cups also. Terry writes, it's a beautiful chashi. Thank you very much, Terry. It's a very, still very simple one. This I picked this morning in the market. Very simple. I'm sure you can do much nicer flower arrangements, but my specialties more on tea. So thank you very much, Terry and Elizabeth, and all the others who have joined today's class. See you next week for another tea class. Wonderful Sunday and Merry Christmas.